Also, today's missing person case is Thailand Hernia. Also, today's missing person case is Destiny. Today's missing person case is Haley Bible. Also, today's missing person case is Isabel Grace. Also, today's missing person case is Alexa Ware. Today's missing person case is Also, today's missing person case is Aaron Teresa Lawrence. Today's missing person case is Jessica Marshik from What's up, Mob Crew? I'm Chris, and today's video Oh, there I am. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the stream. Let me get this out of the way here. If you can hear me, please put a 1 in the chat. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Today is going to be part 2 to the show. We had part 1 last night. We had Tom on, and then we had a special guest come on, Jason Watts. He was the one that actually led the team that found Brandon Lawson's clothing, which then also sent them to find his remains. So that was an amazing show. Is it buffering? I was just going to say I was having some errors when I first started the stream up. How's it going? Let me take a look here. See if the errors have gone away. Oh, we don't want errors to start out the show. I said, as soon as we can get Google Fiber Internet, we are getting rid of Comcast because it just it's just not consistent with Comcast. Even if you got the highest tier, when it comes to the upload speeds, it's just atrocious. Especially for the price, too. So, just let me know if it buffers. Let me know. We'll keep an eye on it. Boy, it would... looking better now. Okay. Might just been a hiccup. Like I said, it's... I've been told by other creators that... who used to use Comcast, the second they could switch, they switched over. So, as soon as they installed the fiber internet in the street... so it's just only a matter of time now before they actually flip the switch and we can get rid of Comcast because it just always have trouble. Yeah, nobody wants to watch somebody buffer, so yeah, Comcast. It is, I used to love Comcast back in the day, because they were kind of one of the beginning with the high-speed internet, going from dial-up to high-speed. It was great. But yeah, for what you pay and for what you get, it's not worth it, in my opinion. So, but yeah, just let me know if it buffers. We'll see what I can do to fix it. So anyway, let's get into, before we get into today's part 2 of Brandon Lawson's story. Let's get into the missing first. If you're newer to my channel, I'm Chris with the Monsters Under the Bed. We do true crime, paranormal, unsolved mysteries, and in all my shows, I like to show missing person cases. And so today we have another Brandon. We got Brandon Parrish. He was last seen on February 3rd last year, so he's been missing over a year. This is in Meadview, Arizona. Let's see what kind of notes they've got here. Brandon went missing, and there was ATV search. So he was doing some handiwork, and his grandparents have not heard from him in over a year and concerned for his safety. So he's got brown hair, brown eyes, just 20 years old, just a young kid, but been missing for over a year. And of course, it's in Arizona. So we'll switch over. This one is Tina Tolley. 32 years old, brown hair, green eyes. It says she was last seen in Richmond, Virginia on April 1st. She has a scar on the front of her neck. Oh yeah, you can kind of see it actually. Ooh, that's a pretty gnarly scar right there. Not the best photo, unfortunately. But it says she has green eyes, brown hair, 32 years old, Tina, Richmond, Virginia. So anybody out there, keep an eye out for her. She went missing at the beginning of this month. So, all right, let's get into today's story. So part 2. So let me just do a slight recap for those that are not familiar with the Brandon Lawson case. Let me pull up a little sheet here. So this was Brandon Lawson. At the time, he had been married, or he had a fiancee, Ladessa Lofton, for the last 10 years, and the couple had 3 children. And he also had another child from an early relationship. From close friends and family members, they all say Brandon was a caring and attentive father, a great person who was loved by many. So, let's skip forward here. We'll go back over this stuff. Like I said, we're just going to recap for those that are kind of new to this case. But, so anyway, in 2013, I'm just kind of skip back over to it. One day before, he apparently went over to let's see, let me go back. So yeah, on August 7th, he had, like everybody, we're not perfect human beings, and occasionally he did meth from time to time, apparently, and so he went to buy some meth on August 7th from a guy named Chris. He stays gone overnight on the 7th, and then he comes home the next day on the 8th. He's kind of arguing with his fiancee, Ladessa. Then he tells her that, hey, I'm going to go over to my dad's. So at the time, he's living in San Angelo, and he said he's going to go to Fort Wayne, which is about a 4-hour drive. And unfortunately, he did not make it, and at about, let's see, what time was the phone call at? So, let's see, there's a 911 call. Okay, yeah, so the 911 call is right at just after midnight on August 9th. There is a phone call, and we'll play it here in just a second. And apparently he's saying that he's being chased, he ran out of gas, and it's a very strange 911 call. And so that's kind of what we're going to be doing. Part of today is breaking some of that down. What was in Fort Wayne? His father lived in Fort Wayne. And I believe they used to live in Fort Wayne. If I correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe they used to actually live in Fort Wayne, but moved to San Angelo for work. So anyway, we will play the 911 call, and before I do, because Brandon at the time. I'm sure Tom can answer that question, Lady Am. I'm not sure exactly how old he was at the time. If you could answer that for me, Tom, thank you. Tom's in the chat. He'll be calling in here in just a minute, but I'm going to play the 911 call for you guys. Now, oh, thank you, Karen. So, with the 911 call, let me play it first, and then I'll go over what I've been doing today, because I've been doing a lot today with this 911 call.
9/2013 050 and 38.
Now, there's a lot that you can't quite understand exactly what he's saying. So the stuff that I'm sure that he said, I put in orange, and then the stuff that I'm not quite sure that he said, I put in red, and even some of that might be off.
8 seconds. 911 emergency.
Yes, I'm in the middle of the field. It's like we're just pushing guys over. Right here going towards Javelin on both sides. My truck ran out of gas. There's one car here. You got to take the pictures to the woods. Please learn.
Okay, now run that by me.
The one I talked to home. I show you ran into him.
Ah, you ran into him. Okay.
That's the first guy.
You need an ambulance?
Yes, no, I need the call.
Okay. Is anybody hurt? Hello? Hello? Hello?
Okay, so very odd 911 call. Now there's speculation that they think that he was high, and this could have been all of a hallucination. And me and Tom will go more into it. He thinks he might have been maybe under the influence, but this wasn't a hallucination, and he was being chased. And I think there was gunfire, and I actually caught something that I'm going to show you guys here in just a minute. But I'm going to play the call one more time because so I work with Audacity, which is an audio program, and which allows me to slow stuff down. I can compress audio files, do a lot of different things with Audacity. And so I'm going to play this call one more time. It's with a different filter, and it kind of gives the audio more body. And I'll explain more, and I'll pull up Audacity and actually show you what I did as well, and it'll make more sense. But I'm going to play it one more time, and then I'm going to show you what I caught today.
9/2013 050 and 38 seconds. 911 emergency.
Yes, I'm in the middle of the field. It's like we're just pushing guys over. Right here going towards Javelin on both sides. My truck ran out of gas. There's one car here. You got to take the pictures to the woods. Please learn.
Okay, now run that by me.
The one I talked to home. I show you ran into him.
Ah, you ran into him. Okay.
That's the first guy.
You need an ambulance?
Yes, no, I need the call.
Okay. Is anybody hurt? Hello? Hello? Hello?
Okay. Now, yeah, broadside. So, the thing about shots, too, getting shot, is some people, if you haven't been in shock before, your body, when you go into shock, you just don't feel pain. I mean, I don't know if you say not feel all the pain, but I've been in shock a couple of times. I've broken my hip. I've done a couple of things that's put my body into shock, and it's almost like you don't even know what's going on because your body just, I don't know exactly. I can't explain it, but so I've heard from people that when you get shot, sometimes you don't even realize it because your body, it's just like I said, it goes into shock. So now today, so I've been working behind the scenes with a retired detective, Steve, who's also been helping me with the Delphi case. What he did with for me, which was really cool, is he went out with his 9mm handgun, and he did some what you call control test. And so he went out at different distances and shot his 9mm. He would shoot it towards the phone, he'd shoot it 90 degrees from the phone, and he would shoot it 180 degrees away from the phone. And then he would go like, another 15 feet, and he went from 15, 30 feet, 100 feet, and I think 300 feet. So he did a bunch of tests for me just to kind of give you an idea what it sounds like of the gunfire. So I'm going to play that, and then I'm going to show you what I kind of discovered, which was really interesting.
Two rounds at phone. Two rounds at 90 degrees to phone. Two rounds 180 degrees from phone. Two rounds at 15 feet from phone. Two rounds at 90 degrees to phone. Two rounds at 15 feet away from phone.
Now notice the one I noticed most of them kind of sound for the most part the same, but when he's actually shooting away from the phone, it gives an extra kind of reverb, a little extra echo. There's Steve. Oh yeah, he's putting the distances. Thank you, Steve. So Steve right here just put in the comment, amazing work. This was him, doing this on, I didn't even ask him. He just did that for me. Just amazing guy Steve is. I would call him a mentor to me. So that got me thinking when he did this test. Now, with Tom's theory, Tom thinks that a shotgun was used. So once Steve sent me this, and then I had Tom tell me he thinks it's a shotgun. Like I said, it's so cool how when you start working together and you bounce theories. So it came to me, I'm like, I need to look for somebody that shot a shotgun in the same similar manner. So I kind of searched YouTube. And I'll come up to that here in just a second. I think that was the 300 feet away.
90 degrees to phone, 75 feet.
Oh, sorry.
Two rounds, 75.
Dom says, I'm going to do some tests with the shotgun and recorded it with a phone call recorder. Cell phones have a way to drown out some background noise. Thank you, Steve. Yeah, thank you, Steve. Just amazing work. Both of you guys.
Two rounds at 150 feet towards phone.
Okay, so I'm going to skip this forward here.
Two rounds at 150 feet. 90 degrees to phone. Two rounds at 150 feet. 180 degrees.
Notice when he's shooting towards the gun in 90 degrees from the phone, towards the phone and 90 degrees from the phone, they sound pretty close together. But when he's firing away from the phone, there's an extra like echo. It's interesting. I've noticed. Doesn't matter how close or far away he's from the phone. Every time when he shoots away from the phone, there's an extra kind of which I noticed. Okay, so now he's 300 feet. Now he's going to shoot towards the phone, away, and then towards 90, and then away. Okay, now this one's going to be away. This is where you can really hear the extra sound. Okay, so now, oops. All right, so now, like I said, when he showed me that, I'm like, okay, now I need to find a shotgun because, you know, to align with Tom's theory, he thinks a 12-gauge shotgun was used. Now, what's interesting is a 12-gauge and a 9mm do reach the same decibel, and that's why he was doing the 9mm. But I've heard something in the original 911 call, and we'll get to that real soon. Okay, here's going to be coming the Holy Grail aha moment here in just a second. Okay, right here. So, what I'm going to be playing for you guys is the part where it's just before he says, I got shot. Or what sounds like he says, I got shot. And, so here we go. And now I'm going to play them together. So let me back this up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play the 911 call 4 times, the control test 4 times, and then they're going to be right on top of each other, and they mirror each other. It's crazy. So let me back this up for you guys. All right, because it comes fast. Right. That was layered together. Now I'll do it in slow motion. Now I do it in slow motion too, and they all the little echoes and stuff, they all match up again. So this is slowed down, separate of each other again. So I'm going to do the 911 call separate, slowed down version of the shotgun, and then put them together, and it's crazy. Mirror image. I'll do it one more time for you guys. It's crazy. Absolutely crazy. Like I said, and I couldn't do this.
2030.
So let me show you. Like I said, I'm going to get Tom on here in just a minute, but I just want to show you guys what it looks like when you have it up on Audacity to really get the full picture. Now, just to let you guys know, I am no audio technician. I am not an expert in anything. I know how to use the program. Thank you guys. Just 1 second here. That'd be that. Okay, just to show you guys the madness that I had to do here. So this is everything I did today. Zoomed out. You're probably like, what are we looking at here? Okay, let me show you guys where we combined it. So this is just to show you guys. This row here is the 911 call. Okay. This row here is the pump shotgun. Now, as you can see, I play one by itself, I play one by itself, and then I combine the two. So let me zoom in to expand these. Now here I'm going to play it just so you guys can see what it looks like. Now they're going to play together. Just absolute mirror. It's crazy. And right after he would say, I got shot. So, pretty fascinating. Also, I wish I had more time, but I was going to take some screenshots. Let me see if I can do that right now. Hopefully that doesn't buffer anything. Okay, save that. Like I said, we're gonna call. Thank you guys. Thank you. Like I said, this is all a team effort. I couldn't have done this without Tom and of course Steve. Take one more screenshot of that. And the pitches, they match up. It's pretty crazy. That's the Brandon. Okay, so that's the 911 call. Okay, let me close everything out. So we'll get Tom on here in just a second. Let's pull this up. I wish I could just paste that on there. Let's pull that up. So here is the pump action shotgun. As you can see here, let's see, I might have stretched that one out a little bit, but you can see where you've got the two lines kick up here. You've got so this is the shotgun here. You can see the same spikes. I think this one, I'd have to work this, but you can see the spikes end up lining up almost identical. It's pretty crazy. Now, does that mean that a shotgun was used 100%? No, I'm not going to say that. This is just theory. We're just working theories and speculation right now. But it's pretty interesting. And I really appreciate all the support and everything. Tom says, professional killers use shotguns because they are untraceable. Interesting. So, let's see. Did I leave anything out on that video? Yeah. So we'll get Tom on the phone here. Make sure the stream's going okay here. Okay. Sweet. All right, everything going smooth, guys. All right, let's get Tom on the phone here.
Your call has been forwarded to an automated voice messaging system.
I'm going to try it one more time. If not, I'll ask. There we go. There we go.
Your call has been forwarded to an automated voice messaging system.
Oh, Tom, if you can't give me a call, I'm sure last time he had to call me, so. I'll wait for Tom to call. Let me just show you exactly what happens right after that little thing that I played you. Because that's when he says I just got shot. Or what sounds... Oh, there we go. There he is.
2000.
Oops.
1. To send a voicemail, press 2.
Hello.
Hey, Chris, how you doing?
Good, buddy. All right. So what'd you think? It's probably different than what...
That was absolutely incredible.
Yeah, I was...
Was.
Yeah, I was blown away. It was so weird how it lined up perfect. I mean, I didn't even have to do anything to, like, slow the one down or the other. I just clipped him shooting once and cocking the gun, and then I just happened to cut right when he obviously on the 911 call, and it lined up, and then I'm like, oh my gosh, I might have something here.
Yeah, and the timing of the pump versus the other. I mean, it's that was some incredible research that you did right there. I love it.
Thank you. Yeah. So where do you want to start, buddy?
So what I would like to add onto this. So my thinking is to try to prove more into what we're onto. Whenever, hold on, let me pull it up.
Yeah.
Whenever we're approaching this case, we're trying to take theories and put facts to those theories,
Right.
So my main thinking is not to just throw something out there without some way to try to prove it. And I do. My job is to figure out things that I can't see. They're miles away from me, and I have to figure out what's going on at that point. And you can't see it, and that's kind of my thought process on anything I'm trying to figure out. I'll take what doesn't make sense and just common sense things and just put it all together. So what you've done is next level. It's really, really intense. I love that, and I appreciate that.
Oh yeah, no problem. Like I said, this is a combination of. Oh, we got a little echo there. Just a combination of, like I said, Steve sent me that control test, which I sent to you, and then I'm thinking, because I've heard the audio so many times, and then when one call, I'm like, it's close, but there's something missing, and then you said shotguns, because of the previous incident that we'll probably get into at some point. And so, like I said, I researched some guys doing some control tests with shotguns, a different manner, but the same theory anyway. And then, like I said, the piece fit, the puzzle piece fit together.
Yep. Just like you put a giant puzzle in front of you and you're 1,000 pieces, you got to figure out what goes together. I mean, that's the same way with any of this true crime, and that's what makes it so fascinating. Is that you have to speculate to be able to figure out what's really happened, and that's what draws us to this genre of videos and content.
Yeah,
and people just love that, because they're puzzle-minded people.
Yeah. So do you? Oh yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, to kind of get people caught up on why we think he could be, maybe an informant or something. Do you want to kind of, because we really didn't get to touch on that on the first part.
So, in September 27th of 2012, 4 days before he moved to San Angelo.
Yep.
He had gotten arrested for delivering a controlled substance to an undercover agent.
Yep. Had
4 days later, he moved. 4 days later, he moved to San Angelo, 4 hours away from his home. He gets hired through a hiring agency. My theory is that's possibly a front. The type of job that he took is there's a lot of people that use drugs that do that type of job. I mean, these guys are working 90+ hours a week. It takes a little something extra to stay up that long, you know.
Right.
It's a lot to it. So my thinking is that they moved him there with the intent to use him to wrap up this case that they had been working on for 11 months before he even moved there.
Right. Yeah.
So the case goes on for another, I think, 8 months off of memory. I think another 8 months, and then they get their 15-person drug bust, and some of these people are connected to some really, I don't know how to put it, just they're really connected, really dangerous gang activity, Mexican Mafia, Aryan Brotherhood, Aryan Circle, and we'll touch more on that on the next one, but I don't want to get too much into that because it's kind of complicated, but
sure.
It does explain the phone call with Kyle. I'll say that. And some of the things that are said on that call. And we've never gotten into any of that yet, but yes, this is definitely a deep dive. And one of the things that I really wanted to touch on is in this 911 call, there is a point where Brandon says, "Yeah," and whenever you listen to him say "yeah," you can hear a whimper in his voice. So right before that, he says, "I just got shot," and then whenever he says "yeah," it's like "yeah," like his voice draws down, like he was in pain.
Yeah. Pause. Do you pause right there? Because you know how I am ahead of you. Let me play that for people real quick, just so they can hear that again and know that where that shotgun sound was.
2013 0
Now, obviously, it'll be a late
38
delay on yours.
seconds.
911 emergency.
Yes, I'm in the middle of the field. The state we're just pushing guys over. Right here going towards gasoline on both sides. My truck ran out of gas. There's one car here. You got to take the pictures to the woods. Quick burn.
Okay, now run that by.
The one I'm talking from, I show you in his home.
Okay, here comes the gunshot that I discovered. That I think I discovered. Like I said, this is just theory.
You ran into him. Okay.
That's the first guy.
You need an ambulance?
Yes, no, I need to call.
Yeah, see, he's like, ugh. And I'll do that one more time for him. You can hear the, ugh.
You need an ambulance?
Yes, no, I need to call.
Okay.
Okay. So I had just played that for him.
Whenever he says the word "yeah," right after that, he has this whimper in his voice, like he is in pain. Like he really did just get shot. So the thing that I want to emphasize on this part right here is the human thought process in an emergency situation. This will disprove the theory of his intoxication level. Do I think he was intoxicated? I think he was to a certain extent, but I don't think it's as much as people lead to believe, where he got high and was seeing things and hallucinating. I don't think he was to the point where he was hallucinating. I think that he was intoxicated, but I don't think that he was at the point where he was seeing people chasing him.
Yeah, is that even common? Oh, sorry. Is that even common for meth to hallucinate? I've never.
It is. Basically the drug. It'll keep you up for days at a time.
Oh.
And I've done a lot of research on this, and they don't really start hallucinating until they're up for 3 days on it.
Yes. Okay. Yeah.
Top deal. And,
so it's not even actually the meth; it's just being up for that many days. Your mind's gonna hallucinate.
I think it's a combination.
A combination, yeah.
I think it's a combination of both. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
But the thing that I want to point out right here is that, like the human thought process in an emergency, this right here is going to disprove his level of intoxication. The part in the call where he says, "I just got shot," while she is saying, "Do you need an ambulance?" He responds, "Yeah." Then, "No." This is very important. So he says, "I just got shot." The mind in a race would think her question would be, "Did you just get shot?" So I think he says, "Yeah," thinking she's responding to him saying, "I just got shot." His automatic thought process at that point is that she just asked me, "Did I get shot?" And he flips that in a split second and says, "No, I need a cop." So he switches from "yeah," answering a question that never got asked, to "No, I need the cops," in a split second. That right there is not going to happen with someone that is at the level of intoxication that would think that he was seeing things.
Right.
People have compared this. There's a Nebraska call that you can look up where this couple they didn't do drugs and they decided to experiment with drugs, and they call in and they're flipping out. They're seeing cows in the trees and just crazy things. Brandon, in my opinion, was not at this level at all.
Right.
For him to change from trying to answer a question that was never asked to "No, I need the cops," within not even a split second, just lets me know right there that this guy was not at the point where he was seeing things.
Right. Now, all they found of Lawson was just a partial skull, right? No teeth, just a partial skull, and
that's what I've heard. If these people that we think actually carried this heinous crime out, these guys don't mess around. They do not mess around. They are going to remove dental records and whatnot. I mean, it's just it's horrible.
That would make sense why there's no teeth in the skull. If that, yeah. Interesting. Very interesting. No, you're good, buddy.
I mean, it has been 8 years. So, I mean, there's a lot of things that West Texas weather can do to a body. You can actually look up flood zones for that Colorado River, for that area, and pretty much, I guess, where I think that he was found is the water kind of can roll up that far, but I mean, that river hasn't flooded in years, so I mean, it's hard to say that would happen.
Yeah.
We did have a huge flood the summer before they found him. There's complete speculation, but he could have gotten washed up in that. Animals could have dug him up over the years. Hard to say, what exactly happened.
Right.
But the fact that he was spread out like he was, he could have been washed down, or he could have been, spread out by animals. So
yeah. Now, to expand on the theory of so people kind of understand, because I think still people are kind of confused on what's actually going on. Do you want to expand on that? Like at the, the beginning, like how you say you think two people got out and were chasing him. Do you want to expand on that?
I talked to Jason Watt for about an hour yesterday, and one of his questions to me is, well, if you think the trucker seen another so if the trucker didn't see another car in the road, how could it have possibly been chased? And my response to him was, these guys drove up. 2 guys got out of the car and chased him to the woods, just like he says in the call.
Yeah.
And there's 4 back roads right there that this car can easily access. Truck, whatever they was driving.
Yes.
Can access and remove themselves from the roadway.
Oh yeah, totally.
So we have to remember that this night there was a 15% moon, 5-mile-an-hour wind. Visibility was nothing. Quite possibly they were just running in circles, trying to get around in the dark. And maybe in the call, whenever he says I totally ran into him, maybe that's what he's talking about. I don't know. But he does say I got the first guy. I definitely hear that.
Yep.
One of the people that I think is involved is an 18-year-old kid. So you got to figure 18-year-old kid and a 230-pound grown man that works for a living is going to take him out. I mean, and he says, I got the first guy. So that adds up to me. So,
yep.
I don't know. There's a lot of little bitty things that just make sense.
Yeah, and also they could have been.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say, to agree with you, if let's say they showed up, let's say there's like 3 of them, 2 jump out, and the driver, they're thinking, well, I'll drive up ahead to maybe cut them off if you guys don't get them. You know what I mean? And then drive off.
The fence is only about 3 foot tall, so I mean it's not like it's going to take a whole lot of effort to get over it. And he could have jumped that fence, and they're following him. They're chasing him through the pasture. This car leaves the roadway, and then the road's cleared. Like I said, I haven't heard the 911 call or the 911 call from the trucker. I don't know what all was said. But back to my original theory is it seems like it would take more than just a haphazardly car. But Jason does say the car was out in the road more than most people think. I don't know how far.
Yeah.
But that just lines up with someone that could have possibly, maybe they'd seen him running out of gas, slowing down, and they pulled up in front of him, and they parked on the side of the road, and he had to go to the left to miss them.
Oh, right. Yeah.
There's so many things, and I'm not sure how it all happened. Nobody is, but I would have loved to have been there, and then we're not speculating, but
yeah.
I mean, like I said, the reason why I started following this case is this guy, everyone that talks about him, big personality, great person, just down to earth, and loved his family, loved his kids. I do think that there was things going on that people didn't know about that he couldn't talk about.
Yeah.
But like I said, that's speculation.
Yeah.
And but a lot of the stuff that we found is going to
support your theory,
prove some of this.
Yeah.
So when we throw a theory out there, then we back it up with facts.
Facts, exactly. Totally agree. Let's see. I was going to ask you a question. What did I see up here? Oh, let me just check the poll here. So, just real quick. So we've got 130 votes. I asked, do you think Brandon Lawson was murdered? We're sitting at 85% says yes. We got a few that think no, but I think the overall majority do think this is a some kind of homicide. And just for those who don't know, they did find his body, in 2000, so it's been 9 years. In 2022 of this year, January 15th, Jason Watts, who I actually was honored to have on last night for part 1. He says that they went back out there right where the original truck was found, and was able to check the property and got authorized so they could go onto the property and check it. And it was within, what, a mile, you said?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so within a mile of where his truck had been stopped, they found, he couldn't say if it was east or west, but they found his clothing, and then obviously they called law enforcement, and then they found apparently what was just a partial skull of Brandon Lawson. And because I'd seen somebody ask, well, what's going on? What's the autopsy? Really, there hasn't been much.
It was definitely east side of the road.
Yeah, I know Jason didn't want to.
I talked to Jason for a while last night. So,
oh, did you? Okay.
And he cleared up a lot of things that I was thinking, so it kind of kicked some of my thoughts out, and then it made me answer my own questions, And that's kind of what I do whenever I'm trying to figure this out. Just try to figure out what makes sense, what doesn't make sense, and then add to it or subtract from it, and go forward. But one thing that always stands is I think he was shot in that field or that pasture.
I agree, and I think, like I said, that might have been the shot that I just caught on there. I mean, I'm not saying that is, but and I'm going to do some more research. I'm going to run it through some more filters, see if I can take out I don't know, like I said, I'm not an expert when it comes to audio,
It sure
but
sounds like it. That was pretty good.
Yeah.
That was really good. I've heard people claim that they were experts, and it's nothing like that. I mean, they're not laying it on top of each other, and that was really impressive. Thank you.
Oh yeah, no problem. Like I said, there's a few more things I'm gonna do with that. And let's real quick just pause, and then because I know you got more. Let me just show those for that just came in. I'm gonna play that for them one more time. Just those that had missed what we're talking about. So I broke down the audio of the 911 call, and I had Steve, who's a retired law enforcement, who's been helping me behind the scenes with other cases. He did a control test with his 9mm, which was brilliant. It kind of got my gears going. And so from there, I went and found some shotgun control tests, I guess you could say. And I just noticed in one part, just before he says I got shot, or it sounds like he says I just got shot, you hear, to me, what sounds like a shotgun, and then it also sounds like the pump action shotgun after. So I'm going to play that real quick. So let me turn this up real quick. Okay, so what's going to happen right here is I'm going to play just a small clip of just before he says I got shot, and as he's saying shot the first guy, and then I'll play them together, and you'll see how they just line up. It's pretty wild. And they lined up, and so I did it in slow motion. And then both together right here. And anyway, it eerily matches up, so pretty interesting. So, but yeah, so for those just tuning in, I've got Tom. Oh, go ahead.
Could we play the part where right after he says I got shot, he says, yeah, and then reverses full gear to no, I need the cops.
Can do.
So
I even got it in.
listen to that.
Oops. I even have it in slow motion too. So let me go to the slow motion one. Let's see, is that the slow
If you
down
play it
one?
in full speed, you'll get to see how quick he changed gears.
Okay,
He
I'll
answered
do
a question
both.
that was never asked.
Okay, yep, I'll do both. So I'm gonna start it. I'm gonna do it with my filters on because I think the filters kind of helped it. So I'm gonna play normal speed and then slow speed. So here's the normal speed.
0, 50, and 30.
Out here going towards Javelin on both sides. My truck ran out of gas. There's one car here. You got to take the pictures to the woods. Quick flirting.
Okay, now run that
The
by me.
one I talked is home. I show you in his home.
Ah, you ran into him. Okay.
That's the first guy.
You need an ambulance?
Yeah, no, I need the cops.
So he goes, yeah, no. So I'll back that up and then I'll do slow motion.
Cops.
Okay.
Oh, I don't know. That messed up that time. Oh. I don't know why it's messing up.
You need an ambulance?
Yeah, no, I need the cops.
Yeah, you can clearly hear him go, yeah, no. So thank you for becoming a member, Alpha and Babe the Patriot. Oh, I love that name. Thank you so much for becoming a member. I'll play that slow motion real quick as well one time. So let me find that. That is right here. Okay, I'm going to play that slow motion now.
Guy.
You need an ambulance?
Yeah, no, I need the cops.
So he's like, yeah, no, and so Tom's argument is that, if he was completely hallucinating, he's clearly understanding what's going on.
He couldn't have changed gears like that.
Yeah.
So the human nature is like something just happened to you. Somebody's going to say, "Hey, are you okay?" Or something like that. And I think my thinking is that his brain switched like right there. He thought she was going to ask, "Did you just get shot?" And he says, "Yeah," and then he says, "No, I need the cops," because she's asking, "Do you need an ambulance?" At that point.
Right. Totally. And
I don't think the yeah was to answer the ambulance question. I think the yeah was to answer a question that he thought that she would ask.
Right.
What just happened.
Makes sense. Yeah. Pull that back out there. So we kind of emphasized a little bit that there was those drug busts early on, just to kind of give a little bit more of the backstory to it. Where do you think part 3 that you want to focus on, and then that way we can kind of.
The part 3 that I want to focus on is the incident surrounding this. So
Okay.
that whenever we get ready for the big one, I would like to just throw it all together. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I would like to focus on just things that are very coincidental to his disappearance that surround it, and why I think they connect to it. That way, whenever we get ready for the big story of the entire thing, it makes sense.
Right.
So everyone that's following this, I appreciate it. This means a lot to me. I can't thank you enough.
Oh yeah, no, yeah. It's been awesome, and I mean, just doing the first show, we had Jason Watts on. I mean, who that was so cool.
That in a million years. I was like, wow, this is awesome.
And then you get to talk to him afterwards. I mean, I wish I could have got. Yeah, that's so cool.
And I'm picking his brain, and I know that he can't tell me a lot of things. I get it, because I mean it is an active and open homicide investigation that they need to process and figure out. And I don't want anyone to take anything away from this to try to, figure out their case. I wouldn't expect that. I'm just putting things together that make sense to me, that would make sense to other people, as far as how it all happened, why it happened, when it happened,
Yes.
the whole process.
Yes. Let me just answer one thing.
Okay.
Yes. Moon, you're right. The truck was more south. When I was doing my research, and I wish I had Tom on, but on Reddit, everybody has his truck in, like, one person has his truck south of San Angelo, which is totally off. And then there was a lot.
Easiest way to.
Yep.
Go ahead. The easiest way to find the spot, guys, is if you look at a map and you're looking at the Highway 277 into Bront, go to the river, go 1.1 miles south of the river, and there is a double curve. The spot where the truck was found was on the second curve, and it's a slight curve. It just kind of, so it's the second part of that double curve if you're headed north, which is where he was headed. So It's 1.1 miles south of the river.
Yeah. So what he's talking about, guys, is see how there's this curve and then there's this curve. It's right here. I had it right here. My apologies, guys. I had it a little bit further north, but it's literally right where this 277 is. So he's talking about there's this curve and then this curve. It's right here, just as
Right
this
before
curve.
you get to the river.
Yeah. When I heard the river, I was thinking Colorado River, and like I said, I'd seen some people on Reddit put it there. So my apologies.
1.1 miles south of the river and 4.2 from Bront, I believe. So.
Yeah.
And there's, and what I was like we were talking about earlier. I'm from this area. I know the dialect. I know what he's saying. I mean, like.
Yes.
I mean, you can hear my Texas drawl. I had the same voice pattern that he does. I know what he's saying. I get it.
Yeah. That's awesome.
And
go ahead.
And I was talking to Jason Watts earlier, and I said I played golf with his boss that he was working for at that time. I haven't asked him a whole lot about it. I kind of asked him, like, how did Brandon get hired and stuff like that. I haven't really gotten into any of that because at the time he hadn't been found, and I didn't want to throw any of this out there until they found the body, because I don't want to, like, it. It's one of those. Hey, I already had all this information, but I didn't want to come out with any of this information until they found him. And I've been researching this for 8 years, and I've thrown out more than I've kept. So the things that and what I've kept is a lot. So you can only imagine how much I've thrown out.
Yeah.
But it is very, very detailed. And there was one other aspect I wanted to hit on, but
while you're thinking of that, if you guys have any questions to ask Tom, go ahead, put them in the comments now. If you guys have a big question you want to ask Tom, put it in the comments now, and then I'll post it, and then I'll ask Tom while we have him on here. And there's Jason Watts. Hey, speak of the devil, just popping in and say hello. I hope the live stream is going well. It is, Jason. Thank you, buddy. Glad you're here, bud.
Hey, Jason.
So, go ahead.
Go back. Your name's been mentioned like 14 times. So.
Go ahead, buddy.
So one of the things that I want to touch on is the main thing that I want to touch on this this particular live feed is, so you got into the shotgun comparison and all that. So what I wanted to compare it to was his state of intoxication. The fact that he switched gears from yeah to no immediately just tells me that he wasn't as intoxicated as people say, because people have tried to compare this to that Nebraska call, and there's thousands of people that have tried to compare this to the Nebraska call where they're seeing cows in the trees and, you know, crazy stuff. And I don't feel any of that whenever I hear Brandon talking to this operator at all.
Right.
And the fact that he switched gears from yeah to no, answering a question that he thought I got asked, and then switched, oh no, I need the cops, you know. That's what he's thinking. So that thought process was way too fast for him to be, in my opinion.
Be inebriated and not be able to comprehend.
So intoxicated that he couldn't think. And you have to remember that this guy, he works in the oil field. Like, he's out on locations and everywhere else. He knows how to get by out there. I mean, that's I work in the oil field myself, so that's what we do. I mean, you improvise, you do things, you can survive. Like a hog, the hog theory and coyote, whatever, snake, that's not feasible. I mean, it is feasible to a point because it was very, very dark.
Sure.
So there is a possibility. I'm not going to rule it out completely, but, you know.
Yeah.
The fact that I think he wasn't, do I think he was on drugs? Yes. Do I think he was intoxicated to the point that he was seeing things? No. The fact that he said at 3 different points during the day, according to other records, he was being followed, he was being chased. These people did not know him, he did not know them.
Yeah. Yeah, I wonder if Jason's seen my clip yet from, I'm curious to see what he thinks here. Jason, I'll play this one more time for you. If you haven't seen or heard this, I played this at the beginning. This is something I kind of came across.
9-2.
So we're kind of breaking down the 911 call, and I have a buddy that's a retired law enforcement, and he's did a control test for me, shooting his 9mm handgun off in the distance, and doing it at different distances, towards the phone, 90 degrees from the phone, and away from the phone. And
2 rounds at phone.
And so that was really cool for him to do that. And then it got my gears turning, and with Tom saying that, hey, I think a shotgun may have been involved, I went and found some shotgun control test, and I just happened to come across one that, let me find it real quick here. That sounds very similar to what's in this audio. So hopefully if you're watching, Jason, just let me show you this real quick. I'm not saying this is it. This is all speculation, but it sounds really close. So what you're going to hear first is a control test of a 12-pump shotgun about 20 feet from the phone. Oop. And now I'm going to play just a little part just before what sounds like he says, I just got shot.
Okay.
And now I'm going to play them together. Oh, you're in a large cloud. Okay. That's okay, buddy. All right, so now I'm going to play them together, and they just match up. It's just pretty interesting.
Okay.
So those were played together, audio to audio, and I do it in slow motion, which is even almost it's eerie. So here's the slowed down version of the 911 call at that particular part. And so I played them together. It is fascinating how close they are. Let me back that up real quick. Right. And now together. It's a mirror match. Not saying that is what it is, but it is kind of eerie that they match up so well. So Tom, what else would you want to add before we get?
So this is what I was going to say earlier. I was talking to Jason yesterday, and they found him on January the 15th, and he was telling me that they didn't get back out there until February the 2nd. And he says, yeah, we were antsy, like, hey, hurry up and get out there. We found this. And he said that they had a delay because they had actually had a Texas Ranger that had gotten shot and killed, and they were, there was a huge delay before they could even get out there to actually process the scene. So that's why nothing came out about it until February the 4th.
Oh, right. That makes sense.
Is that accurate, Jason?
Might take a minute to, because we're ahead of everything, but see if it catches up here. I'm gonna see if maybe I can pull up Google Map while we got going everything. Questions are coming in too. Where is his vehicle? Where is his vehicle? Wondering if the family got it. Did they? Yeah. What did they do with the vehicle? Is that still?
So Ledessa got the vehicle back and sold it because she was trying to put together money to search for him. So didn't need the vehicle, sold the vehicle. She got out of impound and then sold it. And it's said, I can't remember where I heard it, but somebody had said that it looked like the truck had been searched through, possibly by law enforcement. I don't know.
Interesting. Yeah, I wonder. Well, I get it. If she's trying to sell it to, support looking for him, I get that. That would make sense. Just wonder if there was any kind of evidence that could have been in the truck. I'm sure that's what they're asking.
I don't think there would be, but possible. In the circumstances of what I think happened, but I think he got out of the truck and ran. Honestly.
So Eileen Sandhu, hopefully I said that right, says, did his brother bring him gas but did not see Brandon? You want to answer that?
What was the answer?
The question was, did Kyle bring him gas but did not see his brother?
Yes, Kyle did bring him gas. Kyle did not see his brother.
Yeah.
Kyle brought him gas the next morning.
Yeah, that's right, yeah. And then he was thinking that he was hoping that his brother was just going to be sitting in the woods somewhere hiding from this potential warrant.
He did do he hollered out according to Kyle, he got there, he filled the car, or put the gas in the truck, and then kind of drove down the road and was hollering into the pasture, hey, there's gas in your truck, you're good to go. And then they left, I guess. I mean, that's kind of what he says to crawl space.
And then, because his brother talks about how because what we haven't heard is the phone call between his brother and him before the 911 call.
Yeah.
About him being chased by, he used the word Mexicans?
Well, Kyle's recollection, I think he forgot some things. I mean, it was, I think, 2 years later before he even done the interview with Crawlspace. So, I mean, we're taking a 2-year memory, and because, I mean, I'm thinking 2 years ago, there's things that I've said that, I'm not going to remember.
Sure.
Things that happened that I'm not going to remember. And cell phone records are going to back up some of the speculation on a lot of things. As far as what was said exactly, it is hard to say. And then there's other things out there that say whenever Kyle is repeating what Brandon says of one-time run, that one-time run could have been cell phone service breaking up. I mean, this is a desolate area, so there's a chance that he said something else before or after or in between, and that's what Kyle processes or heard. And then I was talking to Jason yesterday, and he asked me why or how would Kyle not know that was his brother? And if you live in Texas, and most Texas guys have this Texas drawl, and they all sound the same,
Yeah.
if you're around it enough. But if you're distracted, you're talking to a cop at the same time. Brandon did make a call to Kyle and says, or he calls Kyle, but he's talking to Kyle's girlfriend who is driving, and he's telling her, hurry up, Audrey. And that tells me that either Kyle didn't have or couldn't drive, or was maybe intoxicated himself and didn't want to drive. I don't know. That's complete speculation, but
sure.
There's something to that part of it that makes me think that maybe Kyle wasn't driving because he was intoxicated also. And I mean, it's just pure speculation, but there's something to that. And him being distracted enough to where he couldn't figure out if that was his brother talking or someone else. I mean, he's talking to a cop at the same time. If you have a criminal record around a cop, it's probably your worst nightmare. Just thinking. And his mind's probably, not 100% concentrated on the voice of the call. And another thing that I wanted to point out is, if someone's under duress and speaking, they're going to talk in a different octave. And Kyle knew that he was under duress. So Kyle's probably thinking, well, he sounds a little different, but, just the way that he took the call, I think that someone else was talking to him.
Yeah. So there's a question by Karen Lee, who is my moderator. She does great work at modding. She says, who actually went to the place where the car was that night and looked for Brandon? L.E., the brother?
Yep, Kyle and the law enforcement.
Yeah, so the events that kind of unfold that we know, Karen, let me pull up the little timeline here for you real quick.
And Jason cleared my thinking of Sheriff Fox actually driving south. It was actually Deputy Neal that drove south, and Sheriff Fox was already north. And Jason, he cleared up a lot of my thought process on how that broke down as far as the deployment of those sheriffs and where they went, and that was huge for me to kind of figure out how they was dispatched. So the first sheriff, Fox, heads north because Brandon gave a geographical location of I'm
Abilene.
headed towards Abilene.
Yep.
If you are from Bront and someone says I'm headed towards Abilene,
You're gonna
your
go
automatic response is you're north.
Yeah.
I mean,
So Abilene
if
is
someone's
north.
calling you.
Yep.
Yep. Abilene is north of Bront.
Yep. So yeah, just to recap, guys. So this was Sheriff Fox. He was up north, and then you have Deputy Neal, who would end up coming south. Correct? That's what we cleared up.
That's correct.
And then we also have the trucker coming by, and from what we learned from Jason Watts, is that the trucker had seen this truck kind of in the way and decided once he got to his next stop. Now, he was talking to a gal at a rest stop. Is that what it was? Or a gas station?
No, it was Stripes gas station. The Stripes are all over West Texas. They're,
Okay, yeah.
They're actually their original corporate office was out of San Angelo, actually, and then another company bought them and it changed the name to Stripes. But I did some research on it. But anyways,
yeah.
I was trying to get video surveillance from, and they don't go back that far, but I was trying to get video surveillance from that gas station that was near Brandon's home.
Yeah.
To see if maybe there was something there.
Yeah.
But yeah, they don't go back that far.
Yeah. And then so she told him, "Hey, you should probably call that in." Isn't that what Jason Watts said?
That's what Jason said. Yes, sir.
Yeah, Joseph Dell. Yeah, we went over this in part one, buddy. We're a little bit ahead. We
Go back and watch part one.
Yeah. We've already talked to Jason Watts, the guy who found the body. But I appreciate you tuning in. Just we're just kind of answering some questions for people. So the trucker, and then we're just trying to answer that question for her. But I think what people are trying to wonder is what he was talking about when, I got the one guy pulled over. And I think that's something that we're going to save until for part 3, right? Or the final part is who is actually could have been possibly. Jason just. Yeah. Hey. Jason wants just something. Hey, Chris, hold on. I can send you a video link that depicts Brandon's roots. Yeah. Sure. Would love it.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
That would be cool.
Because in San Angelo, you're going to have triangulation for your cell phone towers. It'll ping all the way.
Yeah.
Until you leave San Angelo. San Angelo is about 100,000 people.
Yeah. Oh wow.
So I mean, they're gonna have all of that. But yeah, you can leave San Angelo in 10 minutes. You're in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yep. I'm dropping my email. Yeah, there's my email there for you. Yeah, that'd be cool, Jason. I appreciate you taking the time to do that. For those who don't know, Jason Watts is the guy who found Brandon Lawson's clothing. He went back and onto the property that was just right by where his truck was last seen. And so did amazing work. We had him on the show yesterday, so if you haven't caught part 1, I would catch that because we've kind of went over the whole storyline. Where today is a little more on the speculation side of stuff, and then we're going to get into some bigger theories in part 3 or part 4. But yes, thank you, Joseph Dale. Yeah, where is your pride? Yes. Yeah, we're gonna dive a little more deeper into those. To that, probably part 3 or part 4.
To give you a little insight on where's the pride.
Yeah.
That is something that is prominently said by the group of people that we think could or could not possibly be involved. So
yeah.
And Kyle says in the interview, Brandon never said anything like that before to me, but he was under duress. So I mean, it's possible that he could have said something like that to him, is what he says.
Yeah, for sure.
The phrase "Where's your pride?"
Yeah,
MFer is pretty prominent to that group.
Yeah, that totally makes sense too. Now, before I can open up my email, I'll probably have to end this call, because if I open up this email, I know I'm gonna buffer. So, do you want to add any last thoughts? And then I'll let you go, and then I'll play the Jason Watts thing.
I just thank everybody for coming on. This case means a lot to me, and it means a lot to Jason. Jason's been working on it a lot longer than I have.
Yeah.
If there is justice to be served, I would love to see that happen. We don't know if it needs to be, but if it needs to be, I would like to see it happen, because he loved his kids like no other, and those kids will never get to know who he was as a person. Everyone that I've heard said all he did was talk about his kids and how much he loved them and how much he wanted to be around them.
Yeah.
And that's a different kind of guy, you know.
Yeah.
No matter what is said about his addiction or whatever, at the end of the day, he was a family man trying to do things right by them, and those kids need to know that their daddy.
Yeah, we wanted the best for him.
Yes, sir.
For sure.
But that's the main thing I wanted to. That's the main reason why I follow this, and something's drawing me to this case. I don't know what it is, and like I was telling Jason last night or yesterday evening, I've been following this case for a long time, and I've kicked out probably 75% of anything that I've ever come across that would be related to it. And I've never brought any of it to light because I didn't know what happened. I know for a fact that I hear gunshots in that call. I mean, like I said in part 1, I've dove hunted since I was 4 years old. I know what shotguns sound like.
Yeah.
And that's what I hear. That's what I hear in this call. Because shotguns have a distinct sound that sound a lot different than a pistol or rifle or anything like that.
Yeah. You know. Yep.
But
cool,
thank
buddy.
you, Mob Crew, for coming on, and appreciate all the questions. I don't really watch the chat log, so I didn't answer anything, but hopefully I cleared up some of what my process was, and we have a lot bigger things coming up. But you did an incredible job on the shotgun comparison.
Thank you.
That was insane.
I had chills when I did it.
But the timing for a pump action, because I always thought it was a semi-auto. Semi-auto and a pump are completely different.
Yeah.
So semi-auto, you're going to have boom, 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 boom. The pump action makes total sense. Cell phone recording a call cell phones are designed to take out some background noise. So that would explain why you wouldn't hear a pump action, or if they were far enough away, you wouldn't hear that pump action.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, like I said, it's speculation. It's up in the air. But what you did comparing the two was next level shit. It was perfect.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, like I said, and I'm gonna do more stuff like this. Joseph Dell, he thinks he's talking about the noises under the bridge. Yeah, I'm gonna try to get some of that stuff as well. Yes, we've heard the brothers interview Joseph. Thank you. All right, buddy. I appreciate all your work, buddy, man. And yep, like I said, we'll probably be doing this. Oh, go ahead.
I would suggest to the viewers to watch Ladessa's interview on Missing Podcast, watch Jason Watt's interview, and listen to both of those. Listen to Kyle's interview before the next two parts. But yes, those are going to answer a lot of the questions that and the references that we're going to pull up in the next two.
Yep.
And I appreciate all you do, Chris, and you have an amazing following, and
Thanks,
I can't
buddy.
thank you enough for what you're doing.
Not a problem, buddy. Honored to do it. So
You guys have a great night, and
all right, you too, Tom.
All right, later.
Bye-bye. All right, guys. Yep, so we got... Let me close all this out. So, let me get this and check my email. I got to pop it up here so that way I don't show anybody's real names or anything. So just give me a second here. Jason Watts said he sent me something... let me see if I got it from him. Jason Watts, are you still in the chat? Let me see if it's in the spam here. Yeah, I'm not seeing it. I need to change my email thing. I don't know why it's half the stuff that people sends me I don't get. I don't know. Maybe I'll save it for part 3. But if you can't send that to me, Jason Watts, that'd be awesome. And then maybe I can have it for part 3. So, but yeah, for those who just came in, I sent the link in the chat. Oh, in the chat room. Chat room. Oh, here, let me... Oh, 1 second, buddy. Can you drop that link one more time? Because, now that you're a mod, you can drop links. Because if you're not a mod, it won't let you drop a link in the chat. Okay, I'm trying. If you can, one more time, Jason, if you can, drop it. I am looking for it right now. No, that's not it. Yeah, I can't find it. I got too many comments. If you could drop it now though, or email it to me. There we go. Okay, cool. All right, we got it. I just lost it. Oh, where to go? I can't find it. Chat's going too fast. One second. Yeah, it's kind of better to email me something, because then I lose it. Oh, I just saw you too. Why is this just catching up? I don't know. Chat's going too fast. It would need to be sent to me in the. Oh, where is it? There's Tom's thing. There it is. Okay, here we go. We'll try this one more time. All right. I think I got it. And it didn't save. Why? Copy link address. Alright, here we go. No. Yeah. I don't know, something about certain links and chats. It's easier to email something through, or send me a link through an email. Yeah, it's not going to pull it up. But if you want to email it to me, and then we can look at it when I start part 3. But it will not let me play it. Yeah, it won't let me. Sorry, guys. But yeah, if you can send that to me in an email, buddy. I appreciate everything you did, Jason, though. But yeah, it will not let me. But yeah, we'll save that for part 3, though. Which will probably be this weekend, because there's a couple of other cases that I want to touch on. But thank you, Tom, for everything you've done. Jason, you as well, for everything you've done for the family. And I think we'll end it there. If you haven't caught the first part, I would go check that out. It's something interesting that I caught on the 911 call that I match up to. It's a video of Brandon's drive. Okay. Yeah, well, I guess, like I said, if you can email it to me, and then we'll take a look at it in part 3. But yeah, it just it won't let me look at it for some reason. So anyway, guys, I think I'm gonna end it there though, and I said probably we'll do part 3. Will be this weekend, because I there's a couple other cases I'm gonna be touching on during the week. So, but today was just kind of an anomaly because I found that shotgun sound, which is mirrors image, matches up perfect to the audio. So. All right, guys. Thank you for the donations, all the new memberships, everybody. Mods, thank you so much. I love you guys. We will be back on tomorrow. I'm going to close this poll. So 168 people voted. 82% think he was murdered. So I think that's most of you. Yeah, I don't know why it's sometimes it just doesn't work. Like, and I even tried it with a different browser too. It didn't work for me. I don't know why. So, sorry, Jason, that didn't work. But I'll look at it after the video. So, all right, guys, have a wonderful Monday. We'll see you guys tomorrow. I love you guys.